Welcome back, everyone, to our series of preparing for the CHV 12 exam. New to our series, this is again a reminder that this is a beginner friendly series of videos designed to introduce you to the fascinating world of ethical hacking and also to prepare you for the certified ethical hacker certification exam. This is throughout this series, we will take step-by-step approach, starting from the basics and gradually building up your skills and understanding. We will also cover everything you need to know to get started in the field of ethical hacking, including terminology, tools, techniques, and best practices. Um, if you didn't watch the previous videos, go back and watch them because they have really useful information that will help you get started. So this video is about introduction to ethical hacking. We will talk in this video about some of the methodologies and also about understanding the ethical hacker mindset. Okay, so here in this part, we will talk about understanding the hacker mindset because there are so many types of hackers. So there are good hackers and bad hackers. So we will explore the mindset of ethical hackers and how they think and operate to uncover vulnerabilities and security flaws. Some of the methodologies and techniques that we will discuss used by ethical hackers to assess the security posture of systems and networks, including reconnaissance, scanning, enumeration, and also exploitation and post exploitation. Some of the tools of the trade. We will go over some of the tools and software that commonly used by ethical hackers to conduct penetration testing and vulnerability assessments such as Nmap, Metasploit, Wireshark, and John the Ripper. So, of course, if you're already started a class somewhere or a course with some kind of educational institution, probably you heard about these tools. Also, we will go over some of the legal and ethical considerations that will emphasize the importance of conducting ethical hacking activities within legal and ethical boundaries. There's some boundaries and legal considerations we have to take in mind. Adhering to relevant laws, regulations, and the industry standards. Okay, so here penetration testing methodologies. We have some systematic approaches that used by ethical hackers to assess the security of systems. Not only systems, also networks and applications. Okay, that could be web applications, but it could be any applications. Okay, so basically these methodologies outline the steps and techniques involved in conducting penetration tests. That we do use these methodologies to identify vulnerabilities and also assess the overall security posture of any organization. So, some commonly used penetration testing methodologies that include document and scope. Usually, there is a team to get these strategies done, okay? And then the second one, discovery phase, where they discover the ins and outs of web applications or any network, so they can be able after that to create an attack plan. After creating an attack plan, usually they try to do that so you can have no flaws left behind. And after the attack plan is done, they go to the advanced pen test. They test it, and we use the advanced pen test so you can actually do that. Then reporting Then after this, we're retesting the whole thing. There's another methodology called the Open Source Security Testing Methodology Manual, which is OSSTMM, which is a comprehensive methodology that provides a standardized framework for conducting security testing that also covers various aspects of security testing, including information security, physical security, and also operational security. Still talking about the testing methodologies, we have the penetration testing execution standard, which is PTES. And this methodology is a framework that provides guidelines for conducting penetration tests in a structured and systematic manner. Everything has to be studied, everything has to be planned for before you just go ahead and do it. You have to create a plan, you create a strategy, and guidelines also that has to be followed. So the first one is that pre-engagement interactions. We'll move on to intelligence gathering, where you gather all your information. Then after that, you go to the threat modeling, vulnerability analysis, exploitation, post-exploitation, and at the end, you go to reporting. Once you're done, there's another methodology that people usually consider, which is open web application security project, which is OWASP test guidelines or guide. It's a comprehensive resource that provides guidelines and best practices for testing the security of web applications. It usually covers various aspects of web application security testing, including authentication, authorization, and input validation, and session management also, and error handling. OWASP testing guide emphasizes the importance of identifying common security vulnerabilities and mitigating risks in the web applications. And here's a diagram that shows exactly how usually it should be approached. So if we have a server right here, where the application server, the user usually enters username or password, and then uses user authentication and show generic error messages where the hackers usually be involved in that part. And then from there, the account will be locked after number of times that there was failed to log in, and then at the end we have to validate the password. From there, from the other side, there's hackers that trying to collect this information and collect all the login information and credentials. Take a look at this diagram and try to study it. And then if you want to pause the video to be able to draw this diagram, diagrams are really, really important when you try to study for the CAH V12 exam. So go ahead and just pause the video and just go ahead and take a second look at this diagram. From there, we're going to move on to the NISTP SP800, provides guidance of conducting information security assessments that also including penetration testing. It outlines the steps involved in planning. So this part is really important. To identify what? To identify vulnerabilities. NIST SP800 emphasizes the importance of risk management. Any organization, they usually have a risk management team that they take care of the risk management, and also they do continuous monitoring throughout the testing process. So as you see here, we have two types of teams, red team and a blue team. All right. Um, the red team attempts to exploit vulnerabilities and breach organizations' defenses, while the blue team defends against these attacks and monitors for suspicious activities. So the blue team is a good team and the red team is a bad team. This methodology provides like realistic scenario for test and security. So like the attacks and defense, attacking and defending. Okay, for test and security controls and also incident response capabilities. So take a look at the diagrams and read the differences between the red team and the blue team, and go ahead and just take notes and write them down in your pad. All right, so we have some legal and ethical considerations activities within the legal and ethical boundaries. Some of these pointers are like really important, so let's take a look at them. And first one is informed consent. The informed consent to obtain exploit consent from relevant stakeholders. If you're working for an organization, such as the system owners and users, before conducting penetration testing activities on their system or networks. So you have to have informed consent. Second one is a scope definition. The scope definition, from its name, clearly defines the scope of the penetration testing engagement. Why? Including authorized targets, testing methods, and limitations to ensure that activities remain within legal and ethical boundaries. We don't want to just do anything illegal. Compliance assessment. This one is to evaluate the organization's compliance with the relevant laws, regulations, and industry standards, such as, like, for example, GDPR, HIPAA, which is HIPAA, or PCI or DSS, to ensure that penetration testing activities align with legal requirements. So any big organization or big company, they have to follow the compliance assessment. Third one is confidentiality protection. Safeguard sensitive information obtained during penetration testing, such as personal data or proprietary business information, to prevent unauthorized disclosure or misuse. For the part where the data handling procedure is to implement source secure data handling procedures to protect collected data and ensure compliance with the data protection regulations, such as, for example, encryption, enumerization, or pseudo-summarization. Vulnerability reporting is to provide clear and detailed reports of identified vulnerabilities to organizations' stakeholders, like including recommendations for remediation to support effective risk management and mitigation efforts. Here, the respect the privacy rights of individuals and organizations by minimizing the collection of personally identifiable information, PII, and limiting access to sensitive data during penetration testing activities. Last but not least, non-destructive testing. To conduct penetration testing in a non-destructive manner to minimize disruption to business operations and prevent accidental damage or systems or networks. Documentation and audit trails. To maintain comprehensive documentation and audit trails of penetration testing activities, including methodologies used, findings, actions taken, and communications with stakeholders, also to ensure transparency and accountability. Continuous learning and improvement. have to stay informed about the changes in laws, regulations, and ethical standards related to penetration testing, and regularly update policies, procedures, and practices to reflect current best practices and compliance requirements. I hope that was helpful. So let's go ahead and take a look at the tools that used in the penetration testing. Some of the as a penetration testers, we should familiarize ourselves with popular penetration testing tools commonly used in ethical hacking. Okay, and then we're gonna talk about these tools in future videos, and we're gonna try to apply some of the skills that we learned as we are learning about each tool. So we have Nmap. Nmap is to an Nmap network scanning and enumeration tool. We have Wireshark. It's for packet sniffing and network analysis tool. Metasploit. It's a framework exploitation framework for developing and executing exploits. Burp Suite, web application security testing and toolkit. John the Ripper password cracking tool. Air cracking wireless network auditing tool. Last one is Hydra password brute forcing tool. Alright, so I hope this video was helpful and informative. Please, if you have any questions or any comments, leave them down below. And don't forget to watch the previous videos to learn more about penetration testing and how to get ready for the CHV12 exam. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Hope see you next video. Bye.